Okay, everyone, and we are live. All right, I should be live. Mm, Everyone, to the another episode of the Weekender. One more week passes by, and let's see what the world has. Uh, what are all the stories that have been developing in the past week or that are currently developing as we speak? All right. So usually I depend on social media platform that is X. Now I don't believe everything that I see on X because multiple posts have always been all the social media platforms, be it X, be it Instagram, all the other platforms as well. All of them are equally vulnerable to misinformation, disinformation, fake news, and whatnot. But how we should perceive these things is you should see that what is the progression of events, and you don't need to go as far back as, let's say, like 500 or 1,000 years. Just check the contemporary history of any place for 100 or 200 years and you will know that uh, you know what has been uh, the current realities. All right, number one thing, obviously Bangladesh. Things have been going down the spiral in Bangladesh, and I can see that it is turning into 1930 Pakistan. The situation and the radicalization in Pakistan that was there in the 1930s that manifested into the formation of Pakistan as we see today. The same level of radicalization has been reached in West Bengal. What people usually don't realize is, Bengal was supposed to be the eastern frontier of Islam. Okay, our history textbooks do not teach us this. Okay, the reason why Pakistan was chosen after partition as the place where, like it is said that, hmm, it was the fort of Islam, that is Pakistan, and that was the western fort. Which one was the eastern frontier of Islam? That is Bengal. Okay, people don't realize that, and along that line, if you join Pakistan, a center point of Pakistan, that is Punjab, with Dhaka, it will form a line that will partition the remaining land, that is Bharat, into two pieces. And that is why you see even the reason why the people from south, okay, the politics of south, if you see, they are trying to drive a wedge between the people of the north and the people of the south. So once if that the both the frontiers of Islam, if they unite and they are successful in cleaving or dividing Bharat into two parts, north and south, and south goes away, and then that will be a chaotic place. Okay, but our history textbooks, they usually don't teach us this because there are people who will get offended at these things. But again, you don't have to take my word for it. You can simply just go over the internet and look it up. Okay, all right, that's something like it was about history. But yes, things in Bangladesh have been very, very dire. There are dire circumstances in Bangladesh right now, and as usual, nobody cares. Okay, United Nations is largely worried about Palestine, Gaza. Now they are worried about Syria. Now that Donald Trump is going to occupy the White House. Okay, the Syrian rebels have again come out in the open. They have taken over some territories from the Russian forces as well. So obviously, United Nations is going to pay much attention there. In fact, recently on Instagram, United Nations posted something about the Rohingyas. All right. So you see what is the double standards that the world has. Okay, they are never going to recognize the problems that the pagans face. Either you have to be a Christian or either you have to be a Muslim for United Nations to recognize your problem. Otherwise, you know what? You don't have a soul. Know, may you suffer. There are multiple videos in Bangladesh as well. I mean, you don't have to be a PhD, and you don't need to do a lot of research to know what exactly is going on in Bangladesh. Okay. ISKCON, the very organization that was distributing food grains during the very recently, there was this during the monsoon season, there was what do we call it, flooding all across the country of Bangladesh. And mm, yeah, ISKCON was one of the organizations. In fact, it was the only organization. It's a very poor country. Okay, so ISKCON was the only organization that was undertaking humanitarian work on a larger scale. I think we should not make the mistake that we did, that the mistake that we committed during 1947 of not, letting in the minorities of Pakistan during the partition. Now that they are, extreme, there is extreme radicalization in Bangladesh. That day is not far when they will consolidate power and declare Bangladesh as the Eastern laboratory of Islam, like Pakistan was in the West. Okay, so I think the government should anticipate a large inflow of population from Bangladesh, and if no concrete step is taken right now, 5 years down the line, it's going to happen. And 5 years is a very, like, we might not have to wait 5 years. That's all I'm saying. Even medical tourism is one of the things in Bangladesh. People from Bangladesh, they come into Bharat for medical tourism. They don't have proper hospitals. I think now it's the time for our country to shed this image of a good boy. Okay, let countries in South Asia know that our help, obviously, it's there for whenever you need it. Okay, but there are also times when you will have to reciprocate back. Okay, you cannot keep living in this hope that Bharat as a country will keep on helping you guys. Okay, and the logic that is cited for, logic that is cited that why exactly should Bharat help these countries is, it is a big brother. These countries have taken shape out of Bharat, obviously. Otherwise, you know, like 200 years ago, not even 200, like 80 years ago, there wasn't a country named Pakistan or Bangladesh whatsoever, not even Afghanistan for that matter. Okay. So, yes, geographically, intellectually, culturally, the forefather and the bigger brother is obviously Bharat. But now that since those countries have decided, okay, those countries have a legitimate state religion, so why not we have a state religion? That is again a debate for some another video. Let's just leave it at that. So yes, the situation in Bangladesh is pretty much dire. Let's see, if uh, the state of Bharat grows some balls to take some bold action to protect the minorities in Bangladesh, or we are simply just going to condemn, you know, whatever that is happening in Bangladesh. That is what the stand is. You ask any politician from the minority in Bharat, they'll say, yeah, we condemn this, we condemn that. What do we do of your condemnation? Your condemnation will not, you know, restore the dignity of the minorities in either Pakistan or either Jammu and Kashmir or either Bangladesh. So condemnation is of no use. It's good. It's better if you don't condemn. So, yeah. There are some updates on the Syrian front as well. Israeli airstrikes have hit multiple military targets in Syria, killing at least 18 people, as confirmed by Syrian officials. Okay, so Israel has officially stepped into the, this power equation. Okay, so Syria is largely a battleground between Russia and United States. Now, Russia and Iran, they are largely, their interests have aligned in Syria. You know why? Because number one is Iran is resisting the Western influence. That is number one. And Russia obviously is going to be on the opposite side wherever United States is involved. So there is this mutual alliance of convenience between Syria and Russia. And now that Trump is going to come into the White House in January 2025, we see some movement in Syria. Okay. So, what I'm reading on X is Bashar al Assad has been, ousted, meaning it says over here there are widespread reports and social media posts suggesting that Syrian President Bashar al Assad has been overthrown and has left the country, which with claims that Russia has withdrawn its support. Okay. Abu Muhammad al Jolani, previously associated with Al Qaeda and ISIS, is being mentioned as the new leader of Syria. Okay, so ex Al Qaeda and ex ISIS leaders, we are witnessing a day where, uh, terrorist outfit leaders are becoming head of states, head of governments. In fact, that is what has happened in Afghanistan. So this world has completely lost its sense of morality. We are no longer, at least countries, I would include Bharat as well. Whatever happened in Afghanistan, up to a certain extent, Bharat is also to be held responsible for it. Okay, but that is again a very controversial thing to say. There are not of there are not a lot of people in Bharat who are intellectually ready to actually contemplate the benefits of, Bharat taking some decisive action in Afghanistan. But be that as it may, our state policy has always been of soft power. So what social media is making out to be is, so Bashar al-Assad. So Russia was supporting him. Now that there is somebody else in place of Bashar al-Assad, there is also a photo. In fact, this is the BRICS, the page of BRICS on X. They are posting this. Former commander of Al Qaeda Abu Muhammad al Jolani is the new leader of Syria. All right, then it is legit. Okay, an ex Al Qaeda leader, in fact, a commander of Al Qaeda, Abu Muhammad al Jolani, is the new leader of Syria. Okay, so I think the world should take note of this. Okay, all these things, if you look at the world map, these things might look very scattered, but whatever that is happening in Bangladesh, extreme radicalization and taking over state power and accumulation of a lot of state power in the hands of radicals. Secondly, whatever that is happening in Syria, okay, these two things cannot be a coincidence, especially when there is going to be a Republican transition in the White House in 2025. Okay, so let's see how things play out, because yeah, it's going to be a difficult year ahead. Assad is ousted, rebels seize Damascus, Julani emerges as leaders. Yep. All right. Trump is meeting Zelensky along with Emmanuel Macron. Okay. It's actually insane how Trump just walked into Macron's home and took over the show. Macron and Zelensky are visibly nervous. I think officially Trump is going to occupy White House in let's say in January 2025. Okay. In fact, Biden, as a last step while relinquishing White House, he has pardoned his own son of all the offenses that he might have created. This fellow, Vishnu Shankar Jain, obviously he is a uh, whatever that he's doing is definitely commendable. If you're really looking for a role model, he is the one. Okay, he's actually making things happen on ground, and yeah. So there is a video of him that I'm looking at right now on X. It says a group of Christian members of parliament, MPs, have promised to support Muslims during the voting on Waqf Act. I've saying this all along. Those people are the people of the book. Okay, it doesn't matter. Let them quarrel how much ever they want to quarrel. Right now, whatever that is happening in Europe, is essentially a friction between both the people of the book, Christians and Muslims, or Islamists. All right, but when it comes to fight the pagans, when it comes to fight the nationals of Bharat, they both will form a an alliance of mutual convenience. Keep this in mind. Okay. The IMD, the meteorological department, the National Meteorological Department that predicts weather, they are saying that rain likely in Punjab, Haryana, and Delhi NCR. Cold wave to follow from December 9. Okay. All right. All right, guys. Then that is it. There's nothing much to discuss. This is all that is trending. It's all Syria and everything. All right, guys. That's all for this live stream. Okay, subscribe to our channel, visit our other platform, visit our other social media accounts as well. On the platform of X, there are some fantastic articles that we have put up. Do check them out. Check out our other YouTube videos, the recently concluded series of Unlearning the Falsehoods, where I have put up videos about the contemporary history of Bharat, right up until partition in 1947. So do check that out. There is also currently another series undergoing, that is Ancient History of Bharat, where we are talking about the Upanishads, right of starting from the transition from the hunter gatherer to the settled communities, and then to the Rig Vedic times, and then to the Samhitas and the Brahmanas, and then towards the Upanishads. So right now, the Ancient History of Bharat, that series is at the stage of Upanishads. So do check that out as well. We upload some regular videos over there. That's it. If you enjoy and like our content, subscribe to our channel. That's it. I'll see you guys in the next video.